Captain's log, stardate 2737-1727-4757. After extended diplomacy with the local civilization, we've come to a certain agreement, a treaty, if you will, that cedes, and I quote, the island to the United Federation of Zistonian Planets, which right now is just me. With diplomacy concluded for the time being, I've begun a formal survey of our new home. The Zisteauprise B continues to perform well above expected parameters, setting records in a number of categories. Correction. The Zisteauprise C continues to perform well above expected parameters. Yep, I think they're all gone. If there's any expansions left in this dark area in the middle, I think the radars would have found it by now, so pretty sure we have the island all to ourselves, which is good. Yesterday, we built the base. Today, we've got a lot to do. We've got to upgrade the base, and we've got to research everything that only needs red, green, gray, blue, purple, and yellow science packs. So first thing to do is give the robot something to do. So we're going to use an upgrade planner and set it up to upgrade all the stuff in the base. I don't know if we have any assembler machine Mark 1s left around. There shouldn't be, but if I missed any, the robots can take care of it. So we're going to upgrade Mark 1 to Mark 2. Then we're going to upgrade our stone furnaces to steel furnaces. Then we're going to upgrade all of our yellow transport belts into the shiny new twice as fast red transport belts. Put all these guys in here. Okay. Then I can just click X to close that dialog. Then we pick it up and we go to the map screen. And we zoom in. The first thing we want to do, since we're going to be upgrading all of our belts. Belts are made with iron. We want to upgrade the iron first. So I'm going to just basically zoom down the bus like that. That'll give them a lot to do. And then we're going to zoom down here to where the iron plates are being smelted. Like that. And then we're just going to upgrade all the smelting. And then after I've done setting up all of this, we'll have to backtrack and upgrade all the belts leading from the iron ore patches. Zoom all the way back down here to where the belts are being produced, and we will upgrade these as well so that the iron plates and the gear wheels can move down the line a little bit faster. So upgrade all of that, and eventually we're going to upgrade everything in the base. Not everything in the base needs it, but it's just easier to upgrade everything than to try to remember exactly which parts of the base need it and which parts don't. We're just going to upgrade all the things. But we are going to start with iron. Okay, lovely. Now that they are zooming around doing that, that's going to take them a while to catch up with. Let's go ahead and let's just give them... because none of this is going to be worth anything until all of it is done. So let's go ahead and let's set up all of that to get upgraded all the way up to there. And while they are doing that, we can run around and do some other things. So first things first, if we're speeding up all of our belts and our ability to process ore with our smelting, we're going to need a lot more ore coming in. Back here in the back of the base, behind the smelting, you can see sort of what we need. We need 8 belts of iron ore coming in, 8 red belts. We need 6 belts of copper ore coming in. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 belts of stone. And then 3 belts plus a little bit extra to fuel the trains in the future. A little bit, let's just say 4. We need 4 belts of coal. 4 belts of coal, 7 belts of stone, 6 belts of copper, 8 belts of iron. And we're not doing any of that. I've left a pretty big gap between the train stations here, the drop-off for the ore, and the smelting here, so that while we are still mining up the local resources, we have room to route the belts in between the two without making it too crazy and messy. And in particular, there is this big, ugly, quite beefy 36 million copper ore sitting here. We've got to get rid of that. So we are going to mine that up. And we're currently only bringing in 4 belts of iron ore. That's coming from up here. So I think this can sustain 4 iron belts for quite a ways. So I think what we'll do is we'll take this iron patch right there. Thanks, autosave. Jerk. Now that that's finished, we've got some more iron coming in down here, and we've got some more copper coming in. Now that we're using all of these drills, we're using more of our base, everything's going a little bit faster. We are going to run out of power sooner or later, so next thing to do is to add more power to our grid. And to do that, we're going to use our available oil, because we don't just have oodles and oodles of coal laying around. It's a little farther away, but we do have this oil right here, and we've got some oil here, and some oil up there. We have a lot of oil. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this blueprint which I've made, which produces steam power from solid fuel. It produces 220 megawatts net after all these machines are taken into account producing the solid fuel with the beacon and the speed modules and stuff. And once again, we're going to let the robots just do their thing. Alright, so the robots have done their thing. We hooked it up to water, we hooked it up to oil, and these guys should start producing the solid fuel. There it goes, and voila, bing bang boom, we've got more power in our grid, so we shouldn't have to worry about power for, I don't know, good 15 minutes or so. So, next thing on the agenda, we've got this big island full of resources, and we want to be able to get to them and make use of them, so we're going to create a spine, I guess, out of rail. We're going to lead the rail line up the middle of the island, and we're going to scout out using the map just to try to make sure we don't have to jog left or right to zigzag around any of the ore patches. So just moving up, there's a coal patch here, coal patch there. Want to stay in between them, probably. We want to stay to the left of that stone patch. We just finished researching Rocket Science Pack. Ooh, and that unlocked all kinds of stuff, which we can't do any of that yet because we have to go into outer space to be able to make that. But anyway, we need a rail line going up the middle here, so we don't want to hit this stone patch. Let's just use my mouse cursor as a guide. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so we want to clear a path right up the middle and lead the rail line right up the middle. And voila, all done. The rail line now stretches from the bottom of the island all the way up to the top. And in addition, I have added our first rail network outpost. We've got an oil outpost here, which is making use of this other nearby oil patch. A total combined yield of 27.55%. That's like, what does that even mean? Just give me some actual numbers. How many units per second when you mass over the individual ones? They do tell you. This one, for instance, is giving us 31.8 crude oil per second, and to make the most out of it, we are beaconing and modulating our pump jacks. Oh look, the train just showed up. And there it goes. It's taking off. So, since we've done that, we have oil coming into the base via train. I got rid of the oil line going from this guy, which was the first one we tapped. This one up here is now dedicated solely to producing power for the base, generating steam power from solid fuel. Another thing we need to do, now that I have pretty much run out of things to research, is we need to paste down the blueprint one last time to fill in the rest of these recipes in these machines. So to do that, there is a special blueprint in the book. It's this one right here, which only has the machines so that you don't screw up and place like the belts in a random place and everything gets really wacky and the robots try to fix it and it breaks everything. All right, here we go. And did I do it? I think I did it. Yeah, it definitely worked, because now the machines are springing into action, making us some new things, some nuclear power stuff, some different turrety stuff, some artillery stuff, and all that kind of thing. And I think because I've updated these machines to Mark IIIs, it didn't update these blueprints, so I guess we'll just do these manually. These are the blue belts. So that's the blue splitter. This one here is the blue belt itself, and this one here is the blue underground belt. So, moving right along, while I don't need nuclear power right now, it does take a while to get up and running, so we are going to start mining uranium. We're going to start processing it. We're going to try to get some of the nice bright green stuff out of the darker green stuff. And in order to mine the uranium, we'll need some sulfuric acid. We'll probably just produce that on site. We don't really need that much sulfuric acid to mine the uranium, so we're doing it with just one chemical plant. And for now, just to get it up and running, we are hand delivering some sulfur and a little bit of iron, with a little bit of help from the USS Zisteauprise C. The ore comes down on the belt and it gets processed via the centrifuges. It's got a 99.3% chance to get the dark green uranium-238 and a 0.7% chance to get the 235. So it takes a while to get the Covarex up and running. Covarex is happening in this guy right here. So how it works, once we get 40 of the light green uranium and 5 of the dark green, it'll spit out 1 extra light green uranium and consume 3 of the dark green uraniums. So the TLDR here is that it takes a long time to get 40 of the light greens, but once we get them, we have an almost infinite supply. And after a little bit of time has passed, the Covarex process is up and running. We got to the baseline amount of 40 bright green uranium, or light green, whatever you want to call them, uranium-235s, and once every minute they are converting 3 of the dark greens into 1 of the light green. This build here is fairly slow. Its main purpose is to keep a nuclear facility up and running, generating a steady supply of uranium fuel cells as we need them. If we want a large supply of the light green uranium-235, we'll need to make a bigger build. But for now, this is sufficient. It's up and running. It's ready when we need it. And with that out of the way, I am officially out of stuff that I'm familiar with that is mostly unchanged from vanilla Factorio. And we have a massive amount of stuff that's brand new, and then we're going to have to figure out a little bit at a time as we go. So I've done a lot of research. Everything here, all these items with little exclamation points, these are new things I've researched this episode, just this episode. Look at all this stuff. I've researched the pulverizer, storehouses, other storehouses,
equipment gantry, electric boiler, life support equipment, life support facility, rocket cargo safety, rocket reusability, rocket survivability, space assembling, data card, decontamination facility, space manufactory, thermal radiator, supercomputer, storage storehouse, industrial furnace, head factory, lubricant, ISO thermic generator, cluster seat, recycling facility,
and probably some other things I'm forgetting. I researched a ton of stuff, and I don't know exactly, I have some basic ideas, but I don't know exactly what we're going to do with all these things. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up a pretty lazy logistics mall using just logistics robots. And we're going to need, what, a requester chest for the items, and then a passive provider chest to spit out the finished goods once it's done. So I'll do that, and we'll limit the passive provider chest to, I think, 1 output. Now we'll just take this thing, and I shall run to the right, like that. We'll just start with a little block like this, and then I think I'll... Oop, okay, nice. Nice to see you, autosave. Yeah, you waited until I started recording to do that, didn't you? I know you were sitting there waiting for that. Anyway, trying to derail my train of thought, it's not going to work, autosave. Okay, we're going to start here. I've prepared for this moment. I know at least what the first few things we're going to put into these machines is, because we've got space analogs for a lot of the things we've already built. We've got space belts, we got space pipes, we got space machines. There's a space assembly machine right here. So we're going to start with the space transport belts. They're pretty similar to the express transport belts, just a bit more expensive, and they only work in space, but they do require lubricant. So we'll set that guy up, and then also we'll set that guy up. Also, we'll set that guy up, and then rotate them, like that. Put a pipe. Oh, this could be... Wait, hang on. Let's move that up 1 space. There we go. Yeah, that works better. Thank you, robots. Very nice of you. Teamwork. Okay, so there's lubricant right here, going to the express belts. So, I think we will just try to... Let's see, what's the furthest we can reach there? Yeah, I guess that works. So just do that, and we have some lubricant, and then we can shift right-click, shift left-click to copy-paste the ingredients for the machine into the chest, and sometimes it gives a funny number. Like, we want to make a ton of these things. Probably want higher values than this, so I'll probably come through and adjust those later. Just to get it started, we can do this, and I don't think a lot of these items are even in our logistics network. I'm going to have to add steel plates. Advanced circuits probably aren't in the network yet either. I'm going to have to make some provider chests for those, and pull them off of some of the belts so that they get filtered in here. Looks like we've got... Oh, we do have steel and copper plates. We got the engines. Oh, all right. I guess we can make those already. That's good. So we're going to have something like this. And I'm just going to copy-paste... Oh, I guess I should have copy-pasted it before... All right, let me reset. Let me reset. Don't make anything here. Don't bring it. No, no, no. Here, let me... I'm deleting it. You can't put it there. Doesn't work. So anyway, I've added recipes to all the machines with all the new stuff we've learned how to make, as well as some additional background materials that we weren't making enough of. So now we're making all this stuff, and we can't even make all of the new machines because some of the new machines we have to make in space with space-specific machines. So a good starting place, I think, is going to be looking at the Cargot rocket silo, and right here, the satellite rocket silo. In vanilla, the satellite rocket silo is obviously how you get the space science, and that's as far as science ever goes. But in this mod pack, it goes way further than that. I have no idea what this UI is going to look like, so let's take a look. It takes heat shielding, low-density structure, rocket control unit, and solid rocket fuel to produce a rocket part. And it's got 4 module slots. Okay, that looks pretty familiar to vanilla, except for the addition of heat shielding. And I assume we're going to have to craft a satellite to go in there. That's probably the first thing we need to work on. Let's take a look at the Cargot rocket silo, though. Looks very similar. Oh, a little bit beefier, though. Is it bigger? Hang on. Let me look at how big that is. Where did it go? It's in here somewhere. There it is. Found it. Yeah, it's bigger. I'm pretty sure it's bigger. Yeah, bigger. Okay. Anyway, whoa! Okay, this is different. It's got a gigantic inventory. I guess it's gonna hold some cargo, huh? Space capsule. Okay, we need to load a space capsule. We need 100 cargo rocket sections. We need some liquid rocket fuel, and then we've got space for 500 cargo, and then we can have launch triggers. We can manually launch it. Fuel full. Okay, a variety of different ways to do it. Some things with circuits once we have a lot more of them going, and we want to automate some things, I guessed. List destinations alphabetically. Okay, we don't really know that many destinations. Destination position, none. General vicinity. Requires landing pad. Status, no navigation data. Launch a satellite from the satellite rocket silo. Oh, okay. So, like I thought, we need to start by launching a satellite rocket. And you can pretty clearly see where the design of the starter base ended. Everything to the left of this road is a part of the starter base. I knew we would need some of these different materials based on looking at some recipes, but until just now, I hadn't crafted or looked at the UI for the different silos, and I have no idea how often we're going to need to actually launch satellites, so let's just launch one and see what happens. Instead of making a dedicated setup for crafting satellites and then launching rockets, I just sort of want to see what's going to happen. And so I've picked up the materials to handcraft a satellite. There we go. We'll just wait for this thing to fill up. Okay, that's dramatic. That's always dramatic the first time. Here we go. Where did those satellites go? Where did they go? Here's one. I just made the one. Rocket inventory. Navigation satellite. Launch. Here we go. Okay, I said launch. You can go. You can go now. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Uh-huh. Okay. Now what? What did that do? Oh! Okay, got some achievements. Your satellite discovered... Okay, achievements, go away. I'm trying to read the thing. Your satellite discovered some orbiting space platform. Open Universe Explorer. U. Select Nauvis Orbit. Click Surface. Okay, U. Nauvis Orbit. Scan Surface. You have unlocked the navigation satellite uplink. This allows you to view the world and other places that you have discovered via a satellite. Press N to activate or use the shortcut thingy. N. Ah. Navigation satellite. Kalidas orbit. That's the star. Nauvis, that's the planet. Nauvis orbit. Oh. How do I... Oh, okay. WASD moves us around. This is the thing I just launched, I guess. Or this... No, this must have already been in space. There's a bunch of stuff up here. There's water barrels, heavy oil... Did somebody leave stuff in space? There's a bunch of random crap. A biogun, some fish, that's suspicious. Yellow deep transport. Why is this stuff up here? Iron plate, copper plate, beryllium. Beryllium baloney. Science packs, rocket science packs, space science laboratory. Alright, what do these other buttons do? If we click on Nauvis, that brings us back to the planet. If I click on the orbit, is this an asteroid? Alright, there's an asteroid. If I hit M, I can go to a map screen. Okay, that's cool. That's Callidas orbit. If we click on Callidas system... Ooh, look at that. Okay, that's the star. And we get some information. That's really cool. Callidas, robot interference radiation threat, 0%. Delta V from Nauvis, 5,000. Solar, okay. I think this number has to do with how effective solar panels are in orbit around the star. So solar panels in space, I think, are going to be pretty good. Trim surface. Remove chunks outside the bounding box. Wow, there's so much stuff to take in here. Okay, am I exploring out here? I am exploring. I'm just zipping around exploring. But, I guess I'm scanning. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not actually out here. We're just zipping around. We do that. Velis Nauvis. Oh, is there a moon? I think this is a moon right here. Zone type, moon. Parent, Nauvis. Radius, 903. Day-night cycle. Threat. Oh, it's got a much faster day-night cycle. I think Nauvis's day-night cycle is 7 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's much... I can't click back. It's not letting me. It's got all the normal stuff. It's got uranium. Okay, if I close that, click on this again. This has crude oil. Okay, cryonite. That's something we unlocked recently. Barrel. Stone, uranium, copper, only a little bit of coal. Cool. Okay, zoom out. Let's go back further down. Further down. Interstellar map. Whoa. Okay, we've got somebody drop some Skittles on the ground. There's different stars here. Insufficient data. Launch more satellites to view the system. Wowzers. Okay. Click X, and we're back on the planet. It's like Dr. Strange punched me, and he disassociated my astral self from my physical self. We're back on the planet. That's a lot to take in. So I think this is just about the perfect place to end the video. And we will continue next time. In the next episode, we're not just going to send a rocket into space. We're going to go into space. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.